Hello and welcome to your 5 minute leadership tips. It's Michael Erwin here, and I'm excited again to give you another short tip that can really improve your leadership effectiveness. Today, what we're going to be looking at is the science of the difference between a goal or task focus and people focus. And this is through some of the neuroscience research. And what the Neuro Leadership Institute found was that when we have a high task KPI or goal focus, it activates certain areas in the brain. It actually shuts down the other areas that look at people, emotions, and interpersonal interactions. And it's kind of like a seesaw in terms of how this works for most people. So let's have a look at a quick diagram. I'll show you a screen so we can have a look at exactly what that might look like. We'll just share this now. So it's kind of like a seesaw. And when the focus is high, say in one area around goal or task focus, that activates certain specific areas of the brain. But what it means is that the brain areas that focus on people interaction, interpersonal skills, emotional awareness drops down, okay, and that goes low. And what the science found is it goes the other way as well. So when we increase our focus around people, interpersonal skills, interpersonal interactions, emotional intelligence, how we're interacting with each other, and the seesaw goes the other way. And that means that the focus around goals goes down and the focus around people goes up. Now, what the research found, interestingly enough, is that most organizations have a very heavy task, process, KPI, goal focus. That's very heavy. So most of the leaders and managers have their brains firing all of the time around this task, process, result orientation, which then in turn shuts down their ability to have a high people, interpersonal, or emotional intelligence focus. Okay, the research that the Neuro Leadership Institute found was less than 5% of people could actually balance this out so that they were good or very good at managing both as they were going through their leadership and management activities. Most people, 95 odd percent, got stuck in one or the other, and most of that time was people being that task, process, and goal orientation. So it really helps us to understand from a science point of view why there's so much focus on developing soft skills for leaders. Is because the natural orientation of the way that we've created our organizations, the hierarchical structures, the processes, the focus on tasks, the focus on goals means that that's the way that our brain is going to be firing, and it actually shuts down our ability to fire the brain in the other areas for most people. And therefore, we're not using it, therefore, we're not practicing it, therefore, we're not developing these areas anywhere near to the extent that we could. So the opportunity here for us as leaders for leadership development is to be able to create some space in our organisation to really increase the focus around emotional intelligence. One of the key things that you want to look at is creating some space and time for yourself, some time for reflection, some time from stepping away from all of the results, the tasks, the processes, the goals that we feel that dominate our work, and just allow our minds to open up and reflect, to check in on ourselves. How are we feeling? How are we going? To be able to have a different perspective of others and actively seeking to consider what's happening for others. How are they feeling? And then that could flow into, ideally, having conversations that focus primarily around those interpersonal areas. And that's where we're going to increase the firing of that area of our brain and increase those areas of our skills. If we're having a one-on-one catch-up with our team members and we're trying to mix both, what shows happens is that for 95% of the leaders in that research, that task orientation took over, which meant that we're not doing a very good job of actually showing that we're checking in, that we're caring, that we're aware of what's happening for the other person, that we're listening so that they feel heard. So there's some science and some opportunities for us to be able to change what we're doing as leader. It requires a little bit of pushback against the typical structure of our organisations and to create some space for yourself and for others to focus more on the interpersonal interactions, the people connection, and develop yourselves into a more engaging and effective leader. Good luck with implementing that. And here's that diagram again, just to give you that focus visually, different way of taking that in. See if you can create that space for more people and emotional intelligence focus. All the best with it going forward. And here's a little complimentary offer to help you going forward as well.